Mr. Gorbachev.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Turn up this podcast.
I'm in this for the money and the pussy, and they're both falling off the trees.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 78 of the Reasonable Doubt podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Eric C. Griff.
And Chicka J Money.
How we doing today? It's rainy. It's gloomy.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I like
love
the
it.
rain.
I like the rain.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the rain.
It makes me want to sit in like a cafe. You know what I mean?
It does. I like sitting in a cafe, having
With
a
like a
Baileys and
little
coffee
jazz
and,
playing.
Yeah.
Have a little coffee, smoke
Relax,
a cigarette.
see what's going on.
Solve mysteries.
We should solve a mystery.
We should.
We should pick a mystery and solve it.
Do you think we could be like PIs?
Kind of, yeah.
How fucking sick of a job would that
Dude,
be?
we'd be dope.
I want to tail someone.
What do you mean?
Like, I want to follow someone for a while. Because it's, like, part of the job, right?
Okay.
Because, like, not all PI... It's not always, like, super fun mysteries you're solving, right?
Yeah.
You're also, like, seeing if a guy is cheating his insurance. Or, like, finding out if someone's cheating on their husband.
Yeah.
Like, that's also kind of fun. But, like, I'd like to tail someone. And not be creepy because I'm working.
So,
You know?
is your fantasy just to tail somebody?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to follow someone
You
without
can't
them knowing.
do that without being a PI.
Yeah, there's like 2 jobs in the world you could do that, and that's PI and a cop.
While also working for the government. NSA.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
FBI.
FBI, CIA.
How fucking... Dude, it must make you feel so good to like whip out that badge.
Be like,
You know what I mean?
I'm
Josh Farrell,
FBI, motherfucker.
Warrant? Never heard of it.
Did you see that clip online of he's like a big 6'5" black dude,
Yeah.
and he's kind of balling out. He's at
I've
a
seen
club,
this video.
but he's not doing anything illegal. And 2 local cops,
Oh, yes.
they
They're
start
like, check
taking him
my
down.
pocket, motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like getting arrested. He's like, don't do this. And they're like arresting him for nothing.
Yeah.
Suspected drugs. He's like, don't do this.
And they're being
Check
dicks
my
about
pocket.
it.
And they're being assholes. Check my pocket. And they pull it out and he goes, what does that say? And they're like, the one guy's like, and the other guy's like, what does it say? And he's like, FBI, that's what it says. Take me out of these fucking handcuffs. And they take him out and he's like, you're fucked. Both of your careers are fucked.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, that's probably the only way to fuck your career as a cop.
Arrest an FBI officer who's undercover and actually not doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's purely racism. Yeah.
There's no way to explain that away.
No. Why'd you think he had drugs? Because he was black and he had a chain on.
Guy was... I mean, that's the crazy thing, though. If you're working undercover and he still had the badge on him,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's how good he was.
I guess. But, like, if
He's
you're working
balling.
so undercover, you'd think you'd get patted down at some point. Like you're infiltrating something.
Bro, he's that good.
He's that good.
He was
could
at the club.
explain it away. He was at the club.
He might have been like moments out from an arrest.
Do you think he had to, like, wait in line like everyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, he would have had line pass.
He would have had a line pass?
Yeah.
He, like, goes to the front of the line. They're like, who the fuck are you? And he just, like, briefly flashes FBI. And they're like, all right.
Get in there.
Get in there.
You know,
Root him out.
I want to bring this up. It's something strange that's been going on with me, and I want to know what you think.
Okay.
I've been sneezing.
Okay.
Like a normal amount of sneezery.
Yeah.
But when I sneeze, sometimes I get like a muscle spasm in my gooch.
Yeah.
Do you have that?
Yeah, that happens.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You sneeze and your gooch tenses up and you're
Yeah. That's a thing.
What?
I think something with that, like, diaphragm moving up causes something down there.
Okay, so I'm not alone.
No, you're not alone. That's why, like, if someone's carrying something up their ass, they tell you to cough. It's like bend over and cough because you'll loosen up.
Huh.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
Okay, because I was like, man, maybe I have
What if you're just
cancer.
like, no, you don't have cancer. You're just getting turned on by allergies. Fucking love pollen, bro.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Love pollen, bro. That would be a weird. Yeah, I like that.
That's good to know. So what's the deal with it? What happened?
So I don't know, something about your diaphragm, man. Everything's connected. That's why
is.
that acupuncture shit like sometimes works.
Actually works, yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Have you ever had acupuncture done?
Never had it done.
It
I'm
seems
terrified.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I will not let someone inject a bunch of needles into me.
Did you see the Final Destination?
No, what?
No, have you ever seen any of the Final Destination movies?
Some of them like that. That's why I'm afraid. I'm afraid of like getting locked in a tanning bed, so I periodically check
that
it
was
to
in
make
one
sure.
of them.
Yeah,
You go to tanning beds still?
sometimes,
Oh, dude.
bro. What
That is the...
in the middle of winter? It's good for vitamin D. Okay.
I don't want to hear shit next time I say you're metrosexual. Because that's the
I'm
most...
not
You
metrosexual.
are. If you go to a tanning bed, you're metrosexual.
It's good for your health.
No, it's not.
It's good for vitamin D.
There's
through the
other
winter.
ways to get vitamin D.
No, it's good. Vitamin
Eat
D.
leafy
stuff-
greens.
It's good. It's also good for my complexion, and it helps my skin.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be like a tan guy, that's fine.
It's not that I want to be tanned. I'm not particularly tan.
Yes, you are. We
No.
both have like a Mediterranean skin tone.
Like, I don't... This arm's
we
tanned
just
from
have-
driving. I can't even see it there.
We just have sunburns.
Yeah.
You know why we have sunburns?
golfing!
we went golfing, baby.
Yeah.
We went golfing.
Yeah, we
I
went
fucking
golfing.
love it.
Dude, I love just basking in luxury.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking. It's just excess.
Yeah, it's
All
beautiful.
of it. The
It's
land
beautiful.
use, the beers, the cart,
Yeah.
the fact that you need like 17 clubs to play the game,
That's amazing.
and I probably used the same 3 all day.
Yeah, it's great.
I fucking loved it. I love golfing.
I'm really glad it was an impromptu to update everyone. So me and Josh were hanging out, and then some of our plans fell through, and we
Said fuck it.
yeah, I was like, you said, do you want to go to the batting cage? And I was like, that's a great idea, but they were closed.
Yeah.
And it was a Sunday, and I'm like, you know what we could do? We could go golfing.
Mm-hmm.
And we went golfing.
I fucking love golfing.
It's a great time.
I mean, like,
We're not great.
no.
We're not great at it.
But I think it's worse if you're good at it.
You think so?
Yeah, if you're like really trying hard, then that defeats some of the purpose for golf.
You say that, but some guys are just good at it. Like, they'll go out and get kind of trash, but they're pretty good at golf.
Well, if you play enough golf, you're bound to get good at it.
That's what I think it
it's
is when you're wealthy, you get better.
Yeah, because you have all this free time because you're not working. You're just reaping the benefits of others.
We should own a company, you're right.
I mean, a lot of business deals get closed out on the links.
I think it's something like 70 or 80% of business deals over $500,000 are closed on a golf course.
Yeah, I was pretending when we were there. I was asking you about your merger with International Multinational Corp.
Yeah. I said it was
Those
going
sons of bitches got to be on a conference call at 3 a.m. because that's noon in China. Next time we go, we got to bring one of those, like, you know, the first cell phones that were the size of like a brick,
the really long
and, like,
ones?
extend the thing, start taking calls out there like that.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
We should start taking fake calls on the golf course
Yeah.
and say really fancy.
I told you I don't know that woman, and if you ask me again, we're gonna have problems. Say that really loud while you're waiting to tee off.
Yeah, no, that's
Like,
good.
As
That's
someone
good.
else is right in front of you.
Or come in and start just dropping economic terms that you don't understand.
Yeah. Supply, demand. Demand. The logistics chain.
There's a supply chain issue, don't you know?
Synergize.
Macroeconomics.
Microeconomics. You got to use a bunch of the like office terms. You know what I mean? We're not trying to boil the ocean here. Let's circle back and get to the main point.
Yeah, or,
don't try to do too much with it.
What is it? EOD.
What's EOD?
End of day. Yeah, get back to me,
Yeah,
EOD.
what's the ETA on the EOD?
Yeah.
You know who would know a lot of this? Brian. We should ask her.
Yeah, we should. Actually, she does.
She would have a ton of
Yeah.
this. She like answers tons of emails.
And does nothing but corporate bullshit all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't describe her job as a bunch of corporate bullshit, but I'm sure that's sprinkled in there.
It's a lot. It's a lot of what she does. She's a fancy business lady.
She is a fancy business lady.
Yeah.
But if you were like going to a party and you were like, oh, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm a plumber, bartender, whatever. And what does she do?
HVAC.
Bunch of corporate bullshit. I don't fucking know. I actually never spent the time to figure out what she does for work.
I've tried to figure it out. I know what she does
Yeah.
for like her actual job title.
Yeah.
But she starts talking to me about stuff as if it's everyone knows about this.
We do the same thing.
And I'm like, what? I go, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's like, well, their policy date ends in 2 months, and they tried to renew now.
And I'm like, oh, is that crazy?
That seems reasonable, but it never is.
And she's like, reasonable? They're insane. The broker knows. And I'm like, what?
Who's the broker?
Who is the... do they not work for you?
So now I gotta pull a team of 3 more underwriters. I'm like, under what?
Under who?
Who are they under?
What
The
are you-
brokers!
It's like, what are they writing underneath them? Is there swords hanging over their
Well,
heads?
obviously their liability doesn't cover that. You're like, well, I guess.
Doesn't it? Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I glued some pipes.
No. This is what happens. You come home and you're like, fucking bullshit day. And she's like, what happened? And you're like, fucking 2 piss-off valves. Just fucking, you gummed up with the cum squats. And fucking, they're sitting there at 140 PSI. That's what you do. And I'm sure she goes, mm-hmm.
You think so?
Yeah, that's totally what it is. You talk to me like I know about it. I don't fucking know about it. That's a fucking offload pressure tank. It can't be sitting at 95 PSI. It's only rated for 32. Oh, it's an Amtrak system. Everyone knows that. And I've just got to be like,
When I was talking about
Totally.
and that's when I was talking about the expansion tank in the basement.
Exactly, but I'm a guy, so this is something I should have invasive knowledge on, but I don't, so I got to be like, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was overpressure. I don't give a fuck. I know that the bladder was broken on it.
The bladder?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah, piss off valves. You know what I mean? It's like when you go, maybe not you, but like most people, they go to the mechanic. They're like, fucking ball joint's 2 years overdue. And they're like, I know where the ball joint is. You know what I mean?
know where it is.
Yeah, it's like the
You
lowest.
don't know where the ball joint is?
No, I know where the ball joint is, but,
but
most
a lot of
people,
people don't.
that
That's
aren't
fair.
as mechanically inclined as us.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the fucking upper sway arm. That's your problem. You know what I mean?
It's true. This is true. I wish I
ask
had a real
most
fancy
people
job
to
where,
point
like-
at the alternator on their car.
Are you serious?
Most people, I don't think, would.
No way.
I don't think they would, and that's fine because, you know, they have bases of knowledge that we don't have. That's how society runs.
I guess that is
Because
how it works.
instead of everybody having to know everything, everybody can be really knowledgeable at certain things, and then altogether we're really knowledgeable on everything, and that's how society progresses.
Okay, I was thinking about something.
Okay,
You just brought me to this about society as a whole, and
we do live in one.
We do live in one, and honestly, like I have something legitimate. It's very interesting.
Okay,
I was reading a book.
doubt it.
I was
Sorry, that's so mean.
aloud to my girlfriend.
No, you weren't.
I was.
Were you reading her a story?
We read books aloud to each other sometimes. It's good practice for my verbal skills and for absorbing
And her
reading.
listening skills.
I need practice.
It helps me learn how to talk and her how to listen.
So,
I'm sorry.
all right.
If she still listens, I'm
She
sorry.
does. She listens to every episode.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
She was telling us the last one today. Anyway, so
You're reading her a story.
I was reading this book, and it gave a really interesting perspective
Yeah.
that I thought you would find interesting.
Okay.
And that is, he was talking in the book about people's perception as a societal whole and how we often forget to look at things from like greater history.
Okay.
So his example was that if you look at the shift in society, right now, we focus on technological advancement, and people get caught up in the rat race and like working towards what they can contribute as far as a technological advancement or their work input.
Right.
That's their contribution to society, and that's how a lot of people value themselves.
Right.
Whether they acknowledge it as such, whatever, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
1,000 years is not really that long.
In like the grand scheme of...
In the grand scheme of the in what I would call the development of human consciousness and like the development of thought.
Yeah.
When we look at history, I often find that people look at history and evaluate history based on technological advancements.
Okay.
Right? You read a history textbook, you're talking about the technological advancements of time.
Right.
Even going way back.
Mm-hmm. Printing press.
Gunpowder. Or looking at like the telescope was invented, things like that.
In the 70s.
Don't bring her up on here.
Never mind. I was around when the telescope was invented.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
Someone told us. Anyway.
We're continuing.
So,
Galileo.
yeah. But if you really look at how people thought at that time.
Yeah.
And what their perception of life was, it was very different from us, and it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, but everyone who's ever lived has lived in the most technologically advanced time.
Forget that completely.
Okay.
1,000 years ago, people weren't obsessed with work and their output and anything like that. The whole Western world was ruled entirely by the church and people's spirituality. People's spirituality and religious beliefs dominated their life until like very recently.
And feudalism, right? I think you were working in the fields for your landlord.
I know, but I don't think that's what they thought. They thought that, but their lives were dominated by how they could appease God.
That's
and
true.
this spiritual journey that was their life.
What kind of books are you reading to each other?
I know.
What the fuck is this? This isn't like bedtime shit.
It is bedtime shit for us. So anyway, that if you look at it like that, like people would work their entire lives with the concept that if they were a good person, they'd go to heaven. And right? Like that was their be all and end all.
Yeah.
So they spent their whole life trying to develop into a better person to go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's changed drastically.
Well, because it's not a mandatory belief that there's a heaven.
I know, but what happened? What happened was that we realized that there was things we didn't know about the world, and we sent out explorers.
Okay.
And sent out people to explore the world and find out more about where we came from and who we are and what our purpose is here on life.
Okay.
Like, in our life, right?
Yeah.
What human purpose is. Why are we even here?
Yeah.
We sent explorers out literally to figure it out, being like, find out what's going on out there.
Why we're here.
Why the fuck are we here? What are we doing? What is that? How did we come to this? And when they came back with nothing, because we found out that there was so much more about the earth and our lives and who we are than we could possibly understand in a quick explanation, that was the beginning of us shifting away, and because there was no answer. People for a long time had nothing but answers. You could ask your fucking priest 1,000 years ago anything, and they had an answer. And you just accepted it as that's the truth, and that's the way it is.
I wonder how many people like got an answer from their priest and were like,
none.
But you just couldn't like verbalize that.
They were dumb as fuck, man. None.
I don't think they were dumb as fuck.
I think they were much dumber
they
than
have
we think.
Those people you're talking about 1,000 years ago had the exact same brain capacity and mental capacity that we have now. if not better.
But no education. And no education, and no education that encourage critical thought.
But they
which
have
is
the
what
capacity
makes
for it.
us who we are.
Yeah, but I think there's still like people that just are born with the ability to critically think better,
Some people.
right? Martin
Some
Luther.
people. Sure. And Martin Luther was a huge proponent of that. The original Martin Luther, like...
Yeah. The original, not Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, different guy, folks.
Different guy, folks. Some people don't know who the fuck he is, man.
Really?
Yes. You know, because you're Catholic.
I guess. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay, I'm not
That's
actively.
why I clarified. People don't
I'm not
know.
actively Catholic.
Okay, fair enough. But my point being, like, so then we found out that church was, like, breaking a lot of their own rules and taking bribes and stuff to let people into heaven based on bribes.
that was part of the Protestant Revolution, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was
that fucking shook people's belief.
Yeah.
And then when no one came back with answers from what's going on in our world and spirituality, that never came around. That never came back, and it just went on hold, and it became, okay, how do we improve our state of life now? How do we improve our our lives' condition at the moment while we're waiting for answers? And we've gotten so caught up in just improving our condition that we never got answers. No one ever answered the question.
Maybe there are no answers.
Do you think there are no answers?
I think the answer is straight chilling. I think that's what we're here to do.
Just fucking exist.
I think that the fact that we exist at all is like winning the lottery. The chances of us existing is so incredibly low on a cosmic scale. But we're here, right? There's nothing you can do about, well, there is something you can do about being here. But most people, you're here. You didn't have any say in the matter, but you're here. So try to be a net positive on the other people around you as you live and have a good time. And that's what life's about.
What do you think? Do you think that we are intertwined with the earth? It's a big question. It's a loaded question.
Off the top of my head, I'm going to say yes.
Really?
Yeah, I don't believe in a soul, if that makes any sense.
I think, okay.
I
kind of
believe that
agree with you
everything is like a biological or mechanical or electrical impulse. That's
Yeah.
everything going on. There's nothing past that, right? So the atoms that make up our body were once hydrogen atoms and carbon atoms, and that have been part of the earth at one point.
Okay.
So I think we're made of the earth, and everything in us will become the earth again. So yeah, I'd say we're connected to the earth. It's a fucking heavy topic.
Yeah, it is. I wanted to talk to you about it.
Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe we're linked to the earth and thus the universe in some way.
Okay,
Because
so
we're made of it and the universe is made of us.
I have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I think there's something more than what you're saying. I think there's something more to what makes people tick.
You think so?
I don't think the brain is as... like as much of a lottery win as you think.
It is. If you think about the grand scheme of the entire universe, right?
I shouldn't be... no, hold up. Because I shouldn't be able to have these thoughts to even doubt that if it's not. Which makes me think, I don't agree with a soul, because I think that's kind of insane. But...
What, the brain contemplating itself? Is that what you're worried about?
Yeah, like contemplating my own existence. Animals don't do that, and they have brains. Smart animals
Well, some animals do. Or we don't know.
Maybe we don't know.
It's okay.
Fair.
We're getting into a very like the greatest thinkers of our species don't know what consciousness is. We have like what we can observe,
But
right?
we're on the Reasonable Doubt podcast, and we are the guys who are going to figure it out.
We are the guys who are going to figure it out. But also, you or I have no idea if we are the only consciousness ever. Right?
I think
you don't know, and you can't prove that you're not the only one conscious and you're just imagining everything. You don't know that.
I do know that.
How?
Because I know you have a whole other life.
How do you know
outside
that?
of the life that I know of you.
How do you know that?
Because
you don't see
I know.
it. You don't observe it. Your senses don't take it in.
No, I know it's
So
happening.
your brain
I don't
would
subscribe
tell
to this
yourself.
train of thought.
You also live like in the past because it takes time for your senses to reach your brain and tell you what's going on. So you live after things have already happened. You know what I mean? So your brain could be filling in the gaps. I'm saying that that's not the case. I believe you have a consciousness, but I can't prove that you are conscious.
Okay.
And not just me, or I'm living in a simulation and you're being simulated.
Here's an idea.
Or I'm in a coma somewhere and I'm dreaming all this up. I can't prove it.
Here's an idea, and this is... Okay. I think when you look at the world and you look at all the things that are alive in the world...
Yeah.
Because there's like this really clear point of definition where things are either not alive or they're alive.
Yeah, that we figured out.
Things are alive or they're not alive, right?
Yeah, but alive and conscious are different things.
So I don't necessarily think that they're that different.
Well,
I think that when we look at trees, when we look at trees and mushrooms and animals and how they interact with each other and how conscious they are of the world around them, I think that they're... Okay. I don't know how to unwrap... I don't know how to open this one up. Like,
Sponsored
how to unwrap this.
by Labatt Crystal.
Yeah. Drinking Crystal, folks.
Drinking Crystal. It's fucking... We in Bruce County, baby.
So, basically, think about it this way. We know from bees and ants that there are hive minds.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Why is it so insane to think that, like, the mycelium network is a hive mind? Or that plant life on Earth has a hive mind?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's insane. It
Okay,
could be an
but
incredibly simple mind, though.
It could be simple, but I think nonetheless that it's a hive mind, which then leads me to think, well, then what else is a hive mind? Or not necessarily to the same degree as ants and bees, but that they have a hive mind where, like, people kind of act in a hive mind.
I would say that's what society is.
It's a hive mind, right?
Yeah.
We work towards this greater good, and when people don't adhere to that, they're ostracized because they're a broken cog in our machine.
Yeah.
And so they get ostracized from society. Mm-hmm. But then that leads me to think, how deep does that hive mind go? Ours, obviously, we have a lot of free will within our hive mind.
Depends on who you ask.
Within our hive mind. But is our hive mind connected with the other hive minds?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because there's no way for us to meaningfully communicate.
Doesn't matter. Why is it that we're so intrigued by plant life, or that we're so intrigued by these
You are
things?
so intrigued by
Most
these things.
people are.
I don't think most people are. I
People
think
who
most
aren't
people
are people who have not been exposed to it.
I think most people don't think about ants or the mycelium network on a daily basis.
It's just me.
I do. You do. But I don't think most people do. Because in my mind, the mycelium's taken over.
I think I'm not. Yeah, like
I think that's...
I kind of think that the mushroom network of Earth is
There's going to be some crazy mold that the mycelium comes up with.
like the zombie
that
ants
everyone's
thing.
going to
Yeah.
breathe in. But we're not going to, like, kill ourselves to spread it. It's going to infect our brain and connect certain
Well,
pathways
there's already that.
that just makes us really want to grow mushrooms.
There's already that. Look at soccer players. They've done studies on them.
The mold made them gay.
No. Do you not know about this for real?
What, soccer players? No.
They did a study on soccer players and people who are in high-risk sporting events. And they, like, an enormous amount of them, like 80-some-odd%, have this, I believe it's a fungal infection that exists in their blood. Mm-hmm. And, or it's a virus, one or the other. And it literally... you're one of the side effects of it doesn't really do anything aside from that it makes you predisposed to risk taking. And then they start studying CEOs and stuff, and they have the same thing where these people have this infection.
The fucking... That's like the Limitless pill.
Yeah,
But it's
how?
fungus. Well, you know, putting people into more risky activities, right, can lead to greater success.
Well,
you know?
it does lead to greater
does
success. Because
lead
if
to
you
greater success.
continuously take risk over and over and over, you'll eventually hit.
Like gambling.
I don't want to encourage this, but yes.
Right? You can't win the lottery if you don't play it.
It's true.
Eventually, the wheel's going to stop on red.
Well, and that's the thing for people of like extraordinary success. Extraordinary, truly, to the definition of the word.
But the thing is, though, we hear about those people. We don't hear about the people that take great risks and just become homeless.
Because usually
Like, they take a
people
risk,
who
they've
are
got one
willing to
shot
take-
in them.
The people who are willing to... it's not the people with one shot. This is the problem. It's the people with the
Golden parachutes.
perseverance to go over and over and over again and take risk after risk after risk. Take a risk, fail, get up, rebuild, go again.
You need a certain amount of support, though, to be able to take
You
risks
need security.
over and
You need
over.
security.
Right.
Yeah. That's why rich people stay rich.
That's why rich people stay rich, because their kids can fuck up how many times they want.
Countless.
And they've got that golden
Eventually
parachute.
they'll hit.
Eventually you'll hit. But some people only have like a couple chances in their life.
Yeah, and then you're fucked. And,
then
you're
you're fucked.
either going to be homeless or you're going to work a normal job like the rest of us.
Well, rest of us, hey. Take
Yeah,
it
that's
easy,
true.
buddy.
We have a podcast.
We have a podcast with dozens and dozens of listeners. Worldwide.
We have more than that, but we won't talk about our numbers.
We won't talk about numbers. It's uncouth.
It's uncouth.
It is uncouth.
But there is substantially more listeners than you would think.
Yeah, not to brag or anything. I think we're the next.
Reasonable Doubt Podcast.
I think we're the next BBC.
Maybe.
Could you imagine?
All right, that fucking... I could imagine.
Sick.
Sorry,
What else? What else you got for me this week? I want to hear
Oh,
about it.
fuck. That
This
one's
is a little
deep.
surprise.
That one's deep, too. I don't want to go into that yet.
You got some? Say something funny, funny guy.
Labor unions in Victoria, British Columbia are fighting against the ban of duck hunting.
Why they ban duck hunting?
So Victoria's had this thing because there's a bunch of hippies and like super fucking vegans out there who don't like people hunting animals, right?
Right.
It's BC. The West Coast is the way it is.
Yeah.
So
You love it out there.
they finally they got through and they banned duck hunting, and all these labor unions, like all the trades unions in Victoria, BC, were like, if you go through with this and you ban duck hunting, no work. Like the unions were like, we will pay our guys so that they're not starving out, but you will not get any work done, which means no infrastructure will be maintained
Over duck
or
hunting.
built. Yeah, because they're like, trades boys, man. Trades boys fucking hunt and fish. That is our way of life.
Yo, speaking of this,
Hold up, though. Tell
Sorry,
me that's not insane.
that is I like that.
I like it. I'm like, fuck yeah. Say fuck you. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, you want to take away duck hunting? In Canada,
world-
hunting is our fucking heritage, okay? You want to take that away? No more work.
The
oh,
world
you're
could
since God,
use
go
less
fuck
ducks.
yourself. The world could use less. You know what I hate? When people, I went fucking goose hunting.
Yeah.
And then people go, you can't hunt geese. They're protected. I'm
Yeah,
like,
Canadian geese are protected by the federal government.
they're
It's a crime to
protected.
kill them.
No, but
Yes,
go to the
No.
fucking park and tell me there's not enough geese out there. There's a huge hunting season for them. It's longer than fucking duck season.
It's funny.
You know why? Because there's too many sky carp.
You telling this story, I was the one that said that.
What?
That it was illegal to hunt Canadian geese.
Yeah, you did. And I was like,
You
that's
got-
retarded.
You and Brian got so mad at me.
My girlfriend? Yeah, we freaked out.
You're like, no, it's not. And she's like, it's not. Like, over your shoulder.
Because it's insane.
I think it's strange to kill something with our name on it.
What do you mean?
Canada.
In the U.S., they call them American geese.
No, they don't. They call them Canada geese.
No, they don't. They're American. It's like them calling Lake Michigan. It's fucking Lake Huron, you tool bag.
No. You're not this stupid.
Bro.
Lake Huron and Lake Michigan are separate lakes.
No,
bro.
they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
Look
you're the
at a
one
map.
guy. Look at a map. You're the one guy in the world that says there's 4 Great Lakes.
I'm not the one guy. There's a whole team
There's
of us.
5 Great Lakes.
There's 4
There's
Great
Huron, Superior, Michigan, Erie, and Ontario. Those are the 5 Great Lakes.
It's a bay. It's Michigan Bay.
It's a bay.
Michigan Bay of Lake Huron.
Hundreds of kilometers long.
Do you call fucking Georgian Lake? No, it's Georgian Bay.
That's on an ocean. It's different.
What are you talking about?
Georgian Bay?
It's on Lake Huron.
Oh. No, I was thinking of James Bay. Never mind. Lake Huron and Lake Michigan are different lakes.
I agree with you. They are, technically, right now.
Technically right now, but we're working on it.
I'm working to change things here, okay? There's a fucking change coming.
You hear that?
Hear that?
So wind's a change. We're blowing.
Yeah! See, even high five for it. I know you believe in it.
I don't believe in it.
If you look at... So, actually, water normally flows into Lake Michigan from Lake Huron. But because it's a bay, often, even though it's being drained by the Mississippi, one of the largest rivers in the world, it is... It is... It often backflows into Lake Huron because it's one lake. It's just a bay.
They're connected.
I know they are by an enormous, giant open space, which makes them one lake.
They're all
Lakes are
connected.
multiple shapes. They're not all circles and ovals.
They're all connected. Is it one lake?
No, they're connected. Okay, how is Lake Huron connected? By the St. Clair River to St. Clair.
To Lake St. Clair.
Lake St. Clair. Which is a river that flows one direction into Lake St. Clair. And then Detroit River feeds the Lake Erie. And then Lake Erie is fed by the Niagara River into fucking Lake Ontario. Lake Superior feeds Huron through St. Mary's River. They all have direct flows.
At what point
Michigan
does it
not have a river?
At what point is it not a lake and becomes a river? Where's this fucking arbitrary
When it
size?
becomes this and it rushes one direction.
What if it goes the other way?
That's what happens in Lake Michigan. All the other ones don't do that.
I doubt it.
Bro!
It's all one. If Huron and Michigan are one lake, then they're all one lake, and since they're all connected to the ocean, then they're all the ocean, and then all the oceans are one big ocean because they all touch. That's what you're saying.
I agree. All the oceans are one big ocean.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're separate.
Why?
Because we said so.
Yeah,
and we
exactly.
run this planet. Okay, so we say what things are.
Because I'm a motherfucking North American piggy.
Yeah, because I'm part of the Western world, and we draw the borders. Okay.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Afghanistan, you do not know where your border is.
I do. Okay. All those fucking when they were like, we should make some countries in Africa, and then just put a ruler down, started drawing straight lines, and we're like, there you go, country. We did that, baby.
Are they actually like that?
Yeah. So, now, I could be wrong here.
With a reasonable amount of
Take
doubt.
this with a reasonable amount of doubt. Okay? African culture didn't develop countries the way that European culture did. Right? There were regional areas, but due to many factors, including bad ports and not a lot of good rivers in Africa, a lot of people just stayed in tribal areas, right? But Africa was colonized by Europeans, so there were certain chunks of Africa that were controlled by different European countries. And because they couldn't fathom not having a country, they just slapped a ruler down on the map of Africa, draw some borders, and say, all right, that's Gambia. You know what I mean?
That's how the Congo was made.
That's how the Congo was made.
And
Both
it was
of them.
bought for $1 by the Dutch, right?
Belgians.
Belgians, yeah.
Belgians. King Leopold II, he was the guy who started lobbing hands off. If they didn't pick enough rubber, they used to cut their hands off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did that, baby. Western culture. Let's fucking go. Guys that look just like us.
That's
maybe
insane.
me, but taller. But the guys that look like you.
I think they'd be you, but shorter, wouldn't they?
Back then? I don't know.
I think they'd be shorter.
Are we? Yeah, we are as tall as we've ever been.
I would be a giant.
Unless you were in like Scandinavia, I think.
You know that thing about Napoleon being really short?
It's a lie.
It's a lie. He wasn't that short. He was like 5'10". Like
British propaganda.
guy. Yeah.
I think at the time, because measurements weren't standardized, the British and the French both used inches, but they were different inches. So he was like 5'10" in British inches.
You ever looked up where these measurements come from?
Yeah, I have.
It's stupid.
I mean, well, now it makes a lot of sense.
Now it does because we're standardized and we're fine. But like a foot was originally approximately a foot, and
well, like horses are hands, like they're like 15 hands tall.
no, there's other ones.
Imperial's fucked.
There was what was it? One of the measurements that we have was like King George.
Okay.
It was his fucking the measurement of from his elbow to his wrist.
Probably a foot.
It might have been, and they were like, "That is a foot." Yeah, it probably was the British foot, and the U.S. was like, "It's approximately the length of a foot."
Yeah,
Don't do that on the podcast.
I know, just fucking bugging me.
I'll get it later.
Yeah, and then the meter used to be like 1/1,000,000th of the distance between the North Pole and the equator.
Yeah, which
or something
is
like
insane.
that. But now it's like the amount of time it takes light to move.
Well,
It's like if light moves a meter in this much time, that's how we figured the meter out now.
is that how it was standardized?
Yeah, so it used to be that. It used to be like the amount of time it took a certain element to reach its half-life.
Well, meter actually kind of makes sense if it's based on that, because we have meters per second squared,
Yeah.
which is like a really good measure.
They almost went fucking bonkers with the metric system. The French proposed, and I think they did it for a few weeks before turning it back to the is it Gregorian calendar or Julian calendar or something, whatever we use now.
Yeah.
They proposed 100 hours a day, 100 days a year system to like break like 100 minutes an hour, where they would like break up the day into 100 hours or whatever.
That would be better.
It would be better. It'd be much easier.
Yeah, you just go to bed at night.
Yeah. I mean, everything stays the same. You're just timing things differently.
But the 24-hour is actually quite accurate, right?
Like the clock and the calendar we use right now?
Yeah, like we only lose, like 4 seconds a year, something like that?
We lose a day every 4 years.
A day every...
So that's why we have the leap year.
Is it 8 seconds? 8 seconds a year then?
No, it's like 8 seconds a day.
Is
or
it?
something like that. We lose a day every 4 years. That's why we have a leap year.
What's the perfect division of time?
We're pretty close. This is pretty good.
Yeah, this is quite good. I like
This, with the leap year, I think we lose like a day every 1,000 years now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
I
And
want to be alive
figured...
for the day, that 1,000-day leap year.
Yeah.
I want to be alive for that, because that day I feel like the whole planet's going to have a beach party.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, because that day doesn't count.
Like, I want to drink rum out of coconuts on that day.
I'm pretty sure we figured this out, like this calendar too, like considerably earlier than you think.
Yeah.
Like
no,
you're
it
like
is.
700 or something like that.
You know who I've always thought I would be really good friends with if we had the chance to like meet and be friends?
Napoleon.
No, Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah, I feel like me and him would get along.
You're both nuts. You know what? I'll say it, because I know they don't listen. Getting a little sick of Bert and Tom.
What?
I'm getting a little sick of them.
Why?
It's always the same shit every day.
I don't think so.
It's Bert being like, I'm awful to my wife. And then, it's Tom being like, I'm awful to my wife. And then Bert goes, and that's the whole podcast. That's the whole thing.
It's not.
It is. I mean, and I see it coming because, as we are in the industry, I know how to set you up for jokes. You know how to set me up for the jokes.
Yeah,
I can see
good
them
at
doing it.
They're good at it.
But I see it coming. Where it's like, I'm going to say something ridiculous.
But I say ridiculous things.
You do say ridiculous things, but you don't. I don't know.
really-
Maybe our
I'm not
listeners.
setting
Maybe our
you up,
listeners
though.
get sick of us.
I'm not.
You don't
set-
actively set me up.
No, I'm just talking. Oh,
fuck.
Into a
Yeah,
mic.
me neither. I never actively set you
Why
up.
do you actively?
I
set me up?
actively set you
How
up in
many
conversation.
lobs do I miss?
Probably half.
Yeah,
That's
why
pretty-
I have no idea what's going on.
That's a pretty good success rate, I think, for the two
For
of
an
us.
MLB batter.
Well, yeah, we're
Not if
fucking
you're
pros,
fucking
baby.
free
We're the
throw.
top 10%. We're not talking numbers. We're not talking numbers.
No talking numbers. I told you. No talking numbers.
Damn. This Labatt Crystal is not great warm.
No, it's disgusting.
This
warm.
is really bad.
Yeah, it's rough to get through.
Ice cold, they're great.
Yeah, it's got to be like freezer cold.
It's like old English.
Yeah, Crystal's not that good of a beer. I know.
You're going to
friends are
offend.
gonna be mad.
You're going to offend our buddy.
I like it, but it's not great. There is no preservatives. Why is there a fruit fly on me?
Probably because I leave empty beer bottles.
Naturally aged. Huh.
Yeah, because nobody buys it. So they made a run of cases of Crystal in like 1986, and they've just been naturally aging.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm glad you believe that.
I was like, wow, that's so believable. Look at that logo.
I'm glad you believe that.
Okay, so something I did want to talk about that's on a ridiculous note.
Okay.
The banks are thriving.
Of course they
I'll
are.
just read my little tidbit.
Banks always thrive.
The banks are thriving on the recent Fed rate hike, and that is because they are charging more for loans to their customers.
Mm-hmm.
As a result, large banks, Wells, JP, Morgan Chase, and Citibank are eating little banks. But I have to be honest, I kind of like that.
What do you mean?
I kind of like the standardization of banks.
We should have one global bank.
No,
Why not?
because I don't want to do business with China.
Why not?
Fuck them.
Why not?
Some
Oh,
Americans.
because you... Right, that thing you have
What?
with the Chinese.
No, I like Japanese women.
No, you hate...
I
Right.
don't hate the Chinese. No.
Yeah, no, you were saying it.
I
The other
no,
day.
I
The
was
other
not.
day,
I
you were
don't
like,
hate the Chinese.
look at those... I won't repeat it on the podcast.
I don't hate the Chinese.
But you do.
Let's be clear. I don't hate any of the Asians. I love all.
I don't
of your
hate any
women.
of the Asians. Other cultures, though.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. Some of you are on the,
The
chopping
jury is
block.
still out.
Yeah. Some of you are on the chopping
Man,
block.
you're too young. You're too young to figure out all the races you hate yet.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. There's gonna.
I haven't figured it out. But I know there's some places I'm not a fan of.
What are they? I want to hear
I
it.
can't tell you.
You gotta put it out. I know what it is.
Idaho.
Oh, that's not what I was gonna think you were saying.
What did you think I was going to say?
Nah,
What?
I can't.
Now
It would
say
be bad.
Say
It would be bad.
Just say it. It's bad. Go ahead.
India.
No, I like Indians.
You like Indians?
Yeah, my best friend of 25 years is Indian.
Well, like, yeah. But there's always racist dudes that like. I have a black friend.
Yeah, but I literally grew up with Indians.
Okay, you just talk shit about the river all the time. That's all.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm happy with the country of India and how they treat the fucking holy river, the Ganges. Mm-hmm. It's upsetting.
It is.
Yeah, I don't dislike Indians at all.
Okay.
I like Indians.
I accept all peoples personally.
Do you?
I do. Yeah. Yeah. This is.
I don't agree with you.
What, you don't think I do, or you don't like all peoples?
Both. I think you're lying through your teeth.
No, there's people I dislike, but not
Somalia, I've met
they are great at boating.
I've met a bunch of Somalian people I really like. Country of Somalia? Not
If
a
you
fan.
can call it that.
It's barely a country.
It's barely a country. I think there's like three
Honestly,
guys trying to keep it a
you
country.
know who pisses me off sometimes?
Who?
The Greeks.
Oh. With the bullshit feta cheese
Okay, you know
and
what
the
pisses
anal
me off?
sex. I'm over it.
The Greeks, I have so many Greek friends. I have a bunch of Greek friends. And I tell all of them, I'm like, fuck Greece.
Fuck Greece.
Yeah, fuck the country itself. Because what are you doing? Also, fuck old Greek landlords. Old Greek landlords, you cocksuckers.
I think that's just old landlords.
No, it's specifically old Greek guys. Stop trying to give me candy when I come in to do plumbing in your fucking cockroach-infested apartment that you rent out to these people for like $2,000 a month.
Oh, damn.
And they live in fucking squalor. And you're like, Oh, I don't know. And you bit, I don't know what happened. It wasn't dirty like this when I ran it to them. Like, yes, it was, you piece of shit. You're such a piece of human garbage.
That was pretty close to an Italian accent, too.
No. I love the Italians.
You love the Italians?
I love Italian people. I love Italians.
Yeah?
Love them. They're some of my favorite people in the world. I love Italians.
They're just so silly.
No. Italians are fucking perfect human beings. I love them.
Perfect human beings?
They're great. I love them. I love the... How do you not like the Italians?
I like Italians, but I wouldn't say that one group of people is better than others. You know what I mean?
You're right. The
Like I
Irish
said-
are perfect. But outside of the Irish... What's wrong with the Irish? Anyway, I love Italians. I'm a huge fan. They have pretty girls. They got fucking great food, great wine.
Yeah.
They're hilarious.
I like Italians.
They're tough.
The Mario Brothers.
Are you fucking kidding me? Right?
They're Italian guys.
No, they're not. They're Japanese. I also like
Mario
the
and Luigi Mario are Japanese? No. They're Italian.
No, they're Japanese.
They're Italian. They're Italian plumbers. Have you not seen the movies?
They're Japanese.
They're not. They're Japanese creations, but they're Italian guys.
It's
There are zero
acceptable.
Japanese guys named Luigi.
You don't know that.
Well, there actually might be a few.
Well,
What? What do you got for me?
I got to get the fuck off this. You ruined.
I ruined it.
All I'm thinking about now is like just the wonderful Italian people.
You're thinking of Italian chicks, aren't you? I saw it in your eyes when you brought up women. When on the first nice thing you could say about Italians is beautiful women.
Beautiful Italian girls. Anyway. Okay, I have a question for you. So,
Yeah.
what is it? What do you think? We don't have a ton of time left, but what do you think it is to truly be a good person?
Truly be a good person?
Yeah, I had a mild existential crisis because I saw Barbie. The movie.
And I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to get it spoiled, but next recording, we'll definitely talk about the existential crisis of Barbie.
Okay, we will, yeah. But I want to know, what is it to be a good person? What do you think makes... I like to think that I actually try to be a good person.
I think you do.
I think I'm a good person to the people around me.
I think you're a good guy.
I try to be a good person.
I think it all depends on how other people... Like, how you impact other people. You know what I mean?
And, like, when I do nice things for other people or I, like, try to be good to people... I don't do it because of, like, a moral high ground or, like, there's a term...
you're not trying to score points.
No, yeah,
right?
there's a term for that where it's, like, you try to be good to someone based on this false pretense that it puts you... Like, it gives you... You know what I'm talking about?
I know what
like,
you mean.
It gives you, like...
An up on people.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm a better person now because I did something good, and that gives you the gratification. Like, I just do it because I want people to be happy.
I think no one's ever perfect, and everybody's going to do shitty things sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at it like a net total...
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think if the net good you bring into the world is more than the net bad, right? And then I think that's what makes you a good person. I think if you live your life honorably, you treat people respectfully, you treat your environment respectfully, I think that's what makes you a good person.
God damn, that's a heavy episode.
This is a heavy episode.
What do you got?
Broken up by with
You
racism.
got some dumb shit for me?
Do I have some dumb shit for you?
Yeah.
No, I'm really excited for the Barbie movie, and I'm more excited now because a bunch of, like, old dudes were laughing at me for going.
Just to be clear, the only reason I asked about what makes you a good person is because I accidentally killed a hooker.
You accidentally killed her? Well, if it's an accident.
It was an accident.
Like, can you blame...
I ran her over in a fit of rage with the work van, but...
Well, it's like,
Is
you know,
that bad?
when you come home and you find your wife cheating on you and you shoot her in the face and him in the face, it's second-degree murder because it's the crime of... It's
Is
like,
it really?
Well, it's happened because it was like you didn't go home planning on killing her.
It's a crime of passion.
It's a crime of passion.
You know something, folks?
But it's not quite an accident.
More people commit heinous crimes and murder from emotion than they do from alcohol.
I think the amount of alcohol crime... I think alcohol probably saves more crimes than
No, false.
it makes people commit.
Absolutely false. There's way more crimes committed by emotion. Just
Than alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I also think alcohol provides... I think alcohol prevents more crime than it causes.
okay. Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's possible.
Because when I'm driving drunk, personally,
Oh my god.
with the windows down and the radio up, right, taking the deep breaths, I am extra careful.
Windows down, radio. What song is that?
Probably a fucking Florida Georgia line.
No, I think it's Flow Rida.
Okay. But when I'm driving drunk, I make...
Which we don't do, to be clear.
Which we don't do. I do. I make a point of making sure that I'm driving very carefully. However, when I'm driving sober, sometimes, you know, you get into that, like, zombie mode where you're just driving. It's like
Okay,
autopilot.
I actually do that, and it's really scary. Sometimes I drive to work, I get all the way there, and I forgot how I got there.
You ever, like, drive home really tired?
Yeah, and you get home, and you're like, oh, I'm home.
Yeah, and you
just like,
don't remember the drive?
anything.
I've had it, like, my go-to is just, like, walking around the car, but I've been, like, driving home, like, on the highway, and, like, eyes closed, head dips down for a second, and then it, like, you know what I mean, like, scares you back into it, and you've, like, noticed you're kind of drifted out of your lane a little bit, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. No, I had that driving from Sable Beach to Tobermory, which is up, like,
That's not that far of a drive.
it's a couple hours.
A couple hours.
Yeah, okay, so I'm driving up a peninsula down, like, a country highway that's in the middle of the night.
That doesn't help, too.
And
the country highway with no lights.
There's no one driving near me.
Yeah.
And I was with my buddy. He fell asleep in the passenger seat. And I'm driving, and I'm like, I'm really tired. I gotta stop. And he's like, just keep going. Like, okay.
Just keep going. Like, it's that easy.
Yeah.
Like, you're right.
So I'm like, yeah. So I just kept doing it. And I'm not joking. This is years ago. And I'm driving, and I fucking, like,
Head back.
head back against the seat, and I closed my eyes, and all of a sudden I heard gravel and rumbling,
Yeah.
and I was like, phew, and I opened my eyes, and there was a fucking bear on the road in front of me.
Awful
and
scenario.
Boom, and just like boom around him through the road. Thank God he was on the gravel portion, and I was also on the gravel portion. Around him, and like, oh my god, oh my, and I pulled in. I slept in the Lion's Head port. In a port, yeah, like halfway up the peninsula. I couldn't get all the way up the peninsula.
I was gonna say, I bet you would have been up all night after that adrenaline rush.
No, not at all.
No.
I passed it. I pulled in Lion's Head, and I woke up. I woke up to a fucking sunrise. It was beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
I hate driving tired.
Oh,
It's
terrible.
actually terrifying.
It's really dangerous.
It is.
It's way more dangerous than driving drunk.
It totally is. And they try to tell you that, but it's not illegal to drive tired.
That's what's fucked up is like I could drive on a country road after, like 20 beers. But
And you do.
no, I don't.
Well, sometimes.
I drive for work. I'd never ever risk my license. I need it for work. I don't, for real. For real. For extra real. Stop. Oh wow, that's crazy. If I do this, look at that.
Makes your hand look huge.
Yeah, but I actually don't. It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. Don't drink and drive, especially if you're bad at it.
Especially if you're
If you're
if
bad
you're
at
gonna
it.
drink and drive, folks, you better be rich and you better have a lot of cocaine on you.
Yeah, wake you up.
Wake you up.
You better have a
Get
good
you going.
lawyer, just in case.
Good lawyer, a lot of cocaine, dead hooker in the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks.
The dead hooker in the trunk will distract the cop from the fact
It
that you were
will.
driving drunk.
Yes.
Just a little life pro tip from the boys. Just thought we'd help you out. Letting you know. All right.
I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good for a little impromptu
Folks,
record.
call to action. Go out and support your local conservation area.
Oh, that's been your call to action all the time.
Yeah, because it's fucking good. Go out and be a goddamn conservative.
No.
Like in the conservation method.
In the conservation
don't vote right
method?
wing. But also don't vote super left wing. Be a centrist.
Call to
folks.
action. I want to
There's a
see
way to compromise for
really
everyone.
brutal fish releases if you're fishing. I want to see
No.
overhand throws. I want to see when you spit in them and then throw them.
Anyway,
I want to see you throwing
thanks,
them off
folks.
bridges. I want to
Stay
see fish with
reasonable.
the fins cut off.
Keep
doubting, baby.
down.